See, to heck, your mind, it is like a gun. And you want to load it up with little itty bitty bullets of knowledge.
What's going on, family? It's your guy Boro, the Lucky Libra, and thank you for tuning in to another episode. Alright, as you can see by the title, Happy New Year's, Happy Spring Equinox, Happy Aries season. So shout out to my Aries. Happy birthday, happy solar return, Aries. Shout out to my opposite sign. You know, me and Aries, we be like this, and then we be like this, alright? Before we be like this though, alright? So shout out to my Aries. But well, I want to get right into these energies. Alright, I missed y'all. You know, I've been a little distant, y'all. I've been resetting, regenerating. It took some isolation for me to be able to do that, but it's the new year, so it's time to jump into some new energies. It's go time now. Okay, we know Pisces season was dealing with the evolution, the ending of things, being in more of a subconscious, resetting, regenerating, recollecting point of view with a lot of things. All right, gaining more experience of our subconscious, how we deal with our emotions. All right, our imaginations and aspirations in our subconscious, and us coming into more of an awareness and developing more clarity about these energies were pushing us into a space for us to understand what to give birth to, how to deal with new year energies, okay, where to shed skin for us to be able to evolve with our self-identity and who we are. And Aries season is going to influence us to deal with some sense of, you know, self-identity, our personal aspirations, all right, our personal goals. So I want to get into these energies without further ado. Let's get right into it. All right, now and we're getting into sun transiting the houses, so we can understand what areas of life this Aries energy is going to be hitting us at. Now, when we look at Aries season, okay, we have to understand the relationship the sun has with the area it's at right now. When we look at that first house space, everything with the first house is dealing with your personality, how you're influenced to personally express yourself, okay, your personal appearance, how you're influenced to start and initiate things, your personal outlook in the world. The first house influences all of that. All right, the sign you have in your first house in your natal chart, the planets you have in the first house in your natal chart, the house lord, which is your chart ruler of your first house. This is a very important energy to understand in your chart. So when we look at Aries season, the Aries zodiac sign that's birthed out of the constellation that's birthed out of the first house, off rip is going to have a huge influence of its personal outlook on things. Okay, so Aries is cardinal fire ruled by Mars. Cardinal energies dealing with, you know, that pioneer-like frequency vibration, starting, initiating, willing something in, thrusting something in, okay? And when we deal with fire, fire deals with your awareness, what you can see, what you can feel, your visions, expression, all right? Fire influences all of that. So when we got cardinal fire and also the influence of Mars, which is the planetary ruler of Aries, Mars dealing with your passions, your willpower, overall how you set your intentions, and how you may deal with anger and frustration as well. Okay, we know Mars don't like to compromise. It's very direct. It goes right through, doesn't want to go over or around. All right, God of war, very aggressive and direct type of energy. So when you throw all these energies and mix them in a pot, you know, you have a very warrior-like, you know, strong self-initiative like energy. You have a creative like energy. Wants to deal with newness. Deals with individuality. All right? Has a huge influence on personal aspirations. So the beginning of the year is always a fruitful and vibrant time to deal with newness, to deal with things you want to give life to. All right? This is always a perfect time for you to put new things into the air for people to see when we're talking about Aries season. So let's jump right into what influences does Aries season and the spring equinox bring. Okay, a new self-awareness. every time the sun jumps into a new every time we're dealing with a new sun season, we're gonna have a new awareness of something, all right? Because the sun is gonna bring light. The sun deals with awareness. The sun is gonna influence us to pay attention to something, all right, to throw some light onto something. And there's always gonna be new things that we're gonna be seeing. But when we're dealing with Aries season, we're dealing with a new self-awareness, all right? Sometimes in certain seasons, you may have the sun transit in this house or whatnot, and there may be a lot that you're understanding about that house, all right? And it may be things you understand about how others are doing things in that house at that time when the sun is transiting there. It may be a lot of self-awareness there a lot of the time because the sun has a lot of influence to do with the self. But you know, it could be a lot of things. You may have the sun transiting the 7th house, relationship houses, all right? You may have the sun transiting, you know, some houses in the external realm, 10th, 11th house. So it may be a lot of things you're being influenced to pay attention to, you know, in the external areas or whatnot, things outside of yourself maybe. But when we're dealing with Aries season, you know, this season is straight up dealing with, you know, you developing more self-awareness, all right? We always remember everything with Aries is going to correlate back to the first, all right, is the I am, okay? When we think about the I am, all you know with the I am is that you're here, that you're alive, that you're conscious, that you're here, the individual, that you're one, okay? So don't blame Aries when their individuality comes off that strong, all right? Don't blame Aries when at times they have a single-minded way of looking at things, which to them is just them honoring their own way of looking at things and their own way of personally expressing things. So I always tell you, having very individual traits within your chart, within your alignment. Certain signs are naturally very individual. Aries, Scorpios, Aquariuses, you know, you got those is like some of the main ones right there. I like to say, yeah, Aquarius, Scorpios, Aries, Virgos could kind of be real. Virgos could kind of be real individual, like in a way, you know. But besides that, you know, I've mentioned that before, guys. So Aries is gonna have a huge influence on our self-identity, our new self-awareness, new downloads pertaining to your self-identity, and opportunities to develop new passions and new ways to deal with your creativity. All right. Once again, Aries is one of the most creative signs. I always like to say Aries know how to freestyle. They could be real witty doing things off the rip. They could be real witty dealing with spontaneous situations. Okay. You know, their reflexes, Aries reflexes could be real quick. Aries deal with that energy with Mars and that cardinal fire, and the sun is also exalted in Aries, but we're gonna get there. But it has high vitality. All right, Aries has a high vitality to it. So you know, this high vital energy is gonna be something that we're gonna feel influenced to want to direct, to insert somewhere in some type of shape or form. And it's going to deal with something dealing with our creativity, dealing with a certain vision we may have been pondering on, all right? Dealing with a certain feeling, a certain form of inspiration we may be dealing with this start of the new year, okay? Aries season is also a very inspiring time. The influence to create will be very strong, all right? The influence to create is going to be very strong. So you may, if you're in a stagnant, you know, type of energy, you'll really feel almost pushed and forced to get active with something during Aries season. Nothing about that Aries season, Aries energy is still. Aries energy is active. Aries energy is alive. All right, it's vital. People that have a lot of Aries energy, you know, people that have suns, moons, and rising energy, Mars and Aries. This also applies to people that have heavy Mars energy. All right, strong Mars placements. Mars in the 10th house, Mars in Scorpio, Mars in Capricorn. All right, Mars in the 8th house. But you know, people that have heavy Aries energy can have a really strong vitality to the point they can exert their energy a lot, and they could just recharge like that. All right. So if you're an Aries rising, it really be OD with the Aries Yeah, all three. I was gonna say the Aries Sun and Rising, but the Moon too. Y'all could get into fights and show up to school next day like ain't nothing happened. Y'all can absorb hits. Like, you know, this is why y'all end up being real. That Mars energy just manifests into that Aries energy being real competitive. So once again, it's not like Aries really deal with playing sports and being athletes per se. It's just that whatever they get into, they're real competitive. Now, we're gonna be dealing with aggressive and single-minded type of influences. All right. Because the influence to deal with our self-desires and our intentions is going to be very strong. So we may not be, this is very subconscious as well, so we may not understand at times when we're being pretty single-minded about things during Aries season, because the things that we personally want to get off, the things we personally want to express and implement into the world right now is going to be a strong pursuit, and we could be locked in on that. Mars has a real dialed-in like energy. Aries could have a that, you know, Aries, y'all know y'all can be stubborn. Y'all know y'all top 5 stubborn signs in the zodiac. Alright, so you know, with that influence overall, everybody, regardless, so you could have not one lick of Aries energy with a debilitated Mars, but during this Aries season, you can find yourself being real dialed in, locked in into your own personal way about seeing and feeling about things. So this could be the energy that you need to help you direct it towards something that needs that charge, that needs that vital energy and willpower, all right, to place some new intentions and give life and birth to something during this season. Or it can also play out in detriments when your single point of view is blocking certain things, all right? Blocking certain connections, opportunities. So this is why I want to go through the sun transit houses so we can understand when these influences come, how to deal with it, how to spiritually prep for them, all right? You know, so we could be aggressive and single-minded. With the, you know, Mars and Aries deal with our desires, so our intentions to connect to our desires are very strong. So this is a time we got to be real wise with all the energy built up, pent up energy we have to express and out all this energy to express and outlet it towards something, okay? And we could deal with a lot of impatience right now. Okay, whenever we're dealing with, you know, Aries energy, there's going to be a sense of impatience because Mars wants it when it wants it. Okay, so we got to be able to direct all of this charge. All right, so that's why this energy spring season is such an active time. Okay, especially Aries season. A lot of new things is going on during the spring and Aries season. Okay, so we got to make sure we're wise about how direct and aggressive we are jumping into connecting to certain things, expressing certain things at this time, and how we got to continue to understand, you know, time is of an essence, patience is a virtue. You know, that's a very important lesson to understand in this lifetime, and this period that is going to be tested as well. All right, now the planetary ruler is in Gemini. All right, so a lot of communication is going to be influenced with our actions. Okay, Gemini is dealing with communication, mutable air, so it's dealing with being adaptable and flexible. And with the ruler being in Gemini right now, we can have, this is going to heighten and influence more of aggressive communication and relatability that we've already been experiencing for a minute now with Mars and Gemini. You know, with Mars, ever since Mars got in Gemini, I'm seeing how reckless people are driving. I'm seeing how impatient people are on the road. So family, be careful driving and whatnot. I've seen like 2 accidents in the past week and a half. You know, one accident looked really bad. So, and I just understand people want to get there when they want to get it. People are being a little forgetful right now, forgetting things and getting thrown off schedule, and then that's creating situations that should have never happened if you did things on time. So Mars can have you a little scattered or whatnot. At the same time, you're realizing with Mars in Gemini, when you actually take time to be in the present and recollect on things in your day, you understand how you're picking up so much information and detail on things. Is just that we're moving quick paced right now. So the more you could be in the present, the more it's going to help you to have a lot of the things that you're experiencing soak in with Mars in Gemini, because we have so much willpower to attack so many different ideas. So, you know, y'all just want to go check out my Mars in Gemini readings, influences, that I did in the other videos, you know, if you just want to be reminded about them energies. But with the planetary ruler being in Gemini this Aries season, we could be real communicative about everything that we're going to be feeling and seeing. So let's make sure that the energies we're going to be influenced to take action on our visions and creative aspirations and personal endeavors is not just something that ends up being exerted in forms of communication, okay? And we actually utilize Mars and Gemini the way it's being able to pick up all this information for our passions, goals, desires, for us to be able to act on them, you know, in a more, in a way where we're able to balance the logic with the passion. All right. Now, you know, the sun starts off Aries season conjunct Neptune and Venus. All right. You know, Neptune dealing with your subconscious energies, more of a spiritual essence, your imagination, your faith, and your belief. Venus dealing with how you love, compromise, relate, connect. All right, your pleasures. So overall, we're gonna have a passionate influence from that Pisces energy switch. Now that we're going into Aries season, now we're having more of a passionate, aggressive influence to connecting and implementing new ways to manifest and establish our imagination, our dreams, and what is it that we value. We're very direct right now. Pisces season where we were way more understanding. We're going to see people being less understanding about things right now because people want more clarity about things in their personal life in order to evolve as being an individual, in order to understand what individual decisions they need to make. Every season, this season is always going to give you the courage for you to make personal decisions and adjustments in your life that you may have not been able to see how to do, may have not had the right feeling or frequency vibration to take the action on. Yeah, every season gonna charge you up to make these adjustments when it comes to what you see is a positive change in your personal life. All right, so this is something we need to keep in mind. So let's get and it's also sextile in Pluto. The sun is also sextile in Pluto. So, you know, off rip with a sextile, we're gonna be in a type of energy where we're gonna naturally understand how the things that we're implementing that are new, the new ways of dealing with our creativity, the new ways that we're dealing with our passions, all right, the new ways that we're influenced to express ourselves during Aries season and how we want to be seen. We're gonna understand that these things are gonna help us to bring transformation to our personal life. All right. Is going to take us to embrace certain situations, expressing ourselves in new ways. So cultivating our self-identity is going to be a huge influence during this season. So if anybody's been in states of doing things like other people, all right, relating your thoughts and feelings to others so much, you're going to be pushed into an energy where you're going to have to develop your personal outlook about how you're going to shape things and plan and map things out for the new year. Okay, and the area of life you got, the house that you have the sun transit is going to be the area of life where universe wants you to start doing the work here, or wants you to start paying attention to see how you're going to deal with your creativity, your passions, what to see here, how to express yourself in this house, in this area of life some more. All right, among other things that you're supposed to see. So the sun is exalted in Aries. Okay, the sun is exalted in Aries. So we know when the energy is exalted, it's strong. All right, it ain't strong, it's strong. And when the energy is exalted, it could overwhelm itself because this is a place that it's in its highest peak. All right. It's in a place that it loves to be, and in that essence, it can end up overwhelming itself, overexhausting itself, just like when we're in places that we love to be, or in certain environments, or connecting to certain people, places, and things that we love to experience or whatnot. You know, sometimes we can overdo these things, but it's supposed to be viewed as a power. It's supposed to be viewed as a gift, as something we could utilize to help us deal with how we personally express ourselves, our creativity, all right? You know, how we want to be seen, and how we utilize what we're aware about, you know, to develop more of a self-identity. Okay, so these are the energies that we dealing with as a collective jumping into Aries season. And let's just run through the influences with the sun through the houses, all right? So, first house, Aries Rising. I call this personal upgrade. Alright, shout outs to my Aries Rising. This is called personal upgrade. So with the sun transiting in the first house, we're gonna have a influence to have. We're gonna have a strong self-expression this Aries season. When it comes to the way you want to personally express yourself, that's not going to be put on the back burner this season. You're going to want to get off your personal thoughts and feelings. So let's make sure we're doing it in a wise and positive shape or form. You know, we're all going to be in that type of energy, but when it's transiting in the first house, the sun is not only is the sun exalted in Aries, exalted in the first house. Okay, so the sun loves to be in the first house. Not only are we influenced to give birth to things and be seen for new forms of creativity and self-expression, the first house is the house dealing with personal self-expression. So you feeling the double impact of the energy Aries rising more than energies. You embody this Aries energy already. So you got to be real wise about how your personal expression may, you know, come off opposing, intimidating to others in some type of shape or form, but you're gonna gravitate natural personal spotlight right now, Aries rising. And at the same time, depending on certain energies, you may not be so open towards, you know, people just shining the light on you and wanting you to express certain things personally. So understand the environments you may be in right now, but when it comes to what you're creatively working on, your personal pursuits, like these things are going to be able to be seen because the sun loves to be in the first house. It's going to be a whole new strong influence for you to want to personally express yourself. The sun is dealing with your wants. All right. So this is what you want to understand. This is how you could use this energy to gain traction to what you're doing in your personal life. You're going to be gaining a new awareness about people, places, and things in your personal life. All right. Now, you know, strong self-expression, new visions and inspirations about your self-identity and personal goals. Aries season dealing with your personal goals, but dealing with transit in your personal, your first house. So when it comes to, you know, people, places, and things you personally connected to, you're gonna be seeing off rip now. When it comes to your personal life, how to adjust these people. Who complements what's going on. Who and what environments and what things and resources in your personal life, you know, complements or needs to continue to walk the journey of your personal evolution. Like, you're going to be understanding and seeing these things. Okay, universe wants you to understand that you need to put your personal priorities first. All right, and it needs to be something that's a high focus during this season, Aries rising. You know, you're going to want your personal expression to be seen more and can be aggressive doing so, like we said. So we want to deal with more patience with how you're personally connecting, or more so how you're personally expressing yourself at times, so we could prevent some clashes here. And with the sun transiting in the first house, you know, you're going to have a strong personal spotlight, you're going to be like a personal magnet during Aries season and able to attract scenarios, experiences, and situations in order to, you know, express what you personally into and have these things be seen. But you can be in a state, in a state where you take things personal a lot with the sun transit in the first house. All right, Aries rising. So this is what we want to keep in mind. Personal upgrade. Second house, Pisces rising. All right, this is inspired to implement new values and forms of creativity into the world. Okay. When we're looking at the second house is dealing with our talents, our self-esteem, all right? The people, places, and things that we value, all right? Well, this is a huge influence on our creativity. This is one of the creative houses when we talk about the second house, all right? We feel like this is the house where we see what we feel like we have to offer to the world and how we can build on top of that, how we could stabilize and bring some foundation and security to our life on top of these things. So for my Pisces risings, you know, for my Pisces risings, there's going to be a new awareness into how you're dealing with what you have to offer to the world. Pisces risings, you guys are going to be seeing the things that you've been neglecting, that you've been had, whether it's a talent, a certain resource, all right, you know, a certain contact, you know, something that you could utilize to build, to sustain some more security and foundation in your life, to help you plant the seed in this new year, to understand what is it that you have that needs to be seen, that needs to be expressed, that needs to gain more light, There's gonna, in some type of shape or form, Pisces rising, you guys are gonna be seeing this influence during Aries season. Okay, there's gonna be new opportunities to create new forms of stability or transform new forms of stability. Mars Aries energy has a lot to do with transformation. Now, the second house, you have Aries in the second house, so Pisces, at times when it comes to your value system, you know, the things that you want to build upon or the things that you value, you may feel like you got to fight for a lot of these things, or these things may be taken from you in some type of shape or form, or power and control issues here a lot of the time. And you may not feel like you could get resources or act on things when you want to act on them with Aries in that second house. All right, so it develops a lot of passion when it comes to things dealing with career and stability. But now that you got the sun here, you're gonna be seeing new ways to transform these things dealing with career, or how you want to build stability, or how you want to utilize something that you have, you know, a talent, something that you're creatively into, something that you're good at, in order to form some security and foundation in your life. You know, you're going to understand why there was friction with you trying to do these things in the past. So it's going to come with some new wisdom for you to understand how to build starting this new year. Okay? It's going to be a new awareness about your gifts and talents. And you can be aggressive connecting or expressing yourself to the people, places, and things. Or you could be aggressive connecting to the people, places, and things you value, and aggressive expressing your values. So when it comes to a person that you value, have some patience dealing with these people and these relationships right now, so you can prevent clashes. Because wherever Aries energy at, Mars energy at, you know, it could be some friction and some clashes. So that's going to be like the negative side of such a strong, passionate, you know, individual, self-assertive type of energy. So when it comes to the people that you value, based off the way that you personally, individual, perceive how you want things to work in some type of shape or form, may subconsciously influence how you connect, relate, or express yourself to these people. So be careful of that in the second house. Sun trans in the second house, Pisces Risings. All right. But yeah, there's gonna be a huge, you know, fire sparked when it comes to how you're utilizing your creativity and how you're utilizing some of your personal substance in order to make something, build something, stabilize something. So it's going to be a blend of your creativity and what you could see in your visions, and how you build on that, how you add some practicality, how you blend that in what you're already working on, or how you're trying to transform what you're doing in that second house area of life, what you're growing. All right, when it comes to your values and what you feel like you have to offer to the world. So that's what you're dealing with, Pisces Risings. Now, third house, Aquarius Risings. All right, new awareness about your friends and your surroundings. Okay, when we look at the third house, we know the third house is the air house. Air house dealing with people, relationships, relatability, connections, interacting, all right, communication. But the third house is dealing with our familiar surroundings, our familiar and local neighborhood, the people, places, and things in our familiar surroundings that ultimately influenced us, you know, into the ways that we learn how to communicate for the most part when we look at the third house. So this is why the third house deal with how we communicate. Because depending on what was in our environment influenced how we do it. You got Scorpio in the third house, may have experienced some things that make you want to communicate in a more reserved way, in a more introverted way, not giving up too much. All right, depending on the transformations you've been through in your neighborhood with your friends and your siblings. You got Aries in the third house. You know, you may have gotten into a lot of clashes, fights, bullied in your local neighborhood or whatnot. All right, you know, may have been a lot of opportunities for you to connect what you passionately, individually into, and some or be able to experience or work on it, or gravitate some energy towards something that you're passionately into or whatnot within your neighborhood or familiar surrounding, because it is a sextile. But just hypothetically speaking, this is what we're dealing with the third house. So for my Aquarius Risings, all right, new awareness about your friends and surroundings. All right, so there's gonna be a bunch of new things that you're gonna be seeing about, you know, your friendships, how you relate and communicate to others. All right, gain some new information about your siblings and friends, about what's going on in their lives besides just your relationship with them. All right, and understanding new ways of understanding how your environment, your surroundings are influencing your relationships, influencing what is it that you want to do in the new year and what you want to implement into the world in the new year. Okay, it's going to be new ways to relate and connect your creativity and passions. The third house deal with relatability. Okay, is the air house. So, with Aries in this house, you get into experience a lot of situations to deal with your creativity among others, especially in your local environment that you grew up in or whatnot, with familiar friends. You may have some familiar friends that you was doing this, that, and the third with early in life, and later on in life you could come back to them for something you creatively into in another chapter in your life. Your familiar friends could have an influence with your creativity with fire in your air houses. So when you got the sun transit here, is going to be a new awareness to understand how to relate your creativity. It's going to be a new awareness to understand, how your creativity can be used to connect to others. Maybe something that you may just be into creatively. Now you're going to understand how to relate it, connect it to others. Build relationships with what you're creatively into to help you develop, more clarity on your journey. When we look at the sun transit in his houses, be careful of ego clashes with familiar friends, alright? In some type of shape or form, you may be experiencing being single-minded with your friends, or experiencing your friends, your siblings in some type of shape or form being a little single-minded, non-compromising in some type of shape or form. So you might have to deal with patience in that type of way, alright? Be careful you're not the one playing out that energy, okay? This may be a very active period for you guys right now, all right? Very social period for you guys. New opportunities for new relationships and to become familiar with new environments will become apparent, all right? It's gonna be opportunities to build with new people and connect to new environments with the sun transiting the third house. And you may understand how these new environments or whatnot is gonna help you. It may be connected to something that you're creatively into, connected to something you're already familiar with, and you may be able to see opportunity out of these things. All right? So that's what we're dealing with Aquarius Risings. Now, Capricorn Risings, all right? Fourth house. Okay, I call this emotional clarity for the new year. Okay? Now, when we deal with the fourth house is dealing with, all right, our emotional well-being, how we deal with cultivating where we want to be in a comfortable space internally, all right, how we develop a comfort zone, how we deal with privacy and solitude, the family and home environment, our relationship with our parents, okay, when we look at the fourth house and the people, places, and things that we care about. So with the sun transiting the fourth house here, it's going to be a new awareness on your emotional well-being. It's going to be a new awareness on how you're able to express how you feel about things. Okay, with Aries in that fourth house, a lot of the times you may be, especially if you got, depending on your sun and moon, if you got some individual like introverted like energies, with Aries in that fourth house, Capricorn Risings, y'all be influenced to that's part of the reason a lot of y'all don't be expressing the emotion like that with Aries in that fourth house, because it's an individual way of dealing with the emotions. This is why Mars and Aries energy get a little cloudy here for when we talk about that fourth house energy, or Mars and Cancer energy, because that Mars energy don't deal with relatability, balance, or compromising, and the fourth house, you need that at times. The fourth house deal with connecting, understanding, and nurture. Sometimes Mars don't care to understand. It cares to accomplish and conquer. Okay, so and sometimes that is done in an abrupt, direct, aggressive type of way. So when we look at the sun transit in the fourth house, new awareness on how you deal with your emotions. New awareness on how to direct your passions, okay, and the things that you feel strongly about. New clarity on you understanding why your emotional space needs to be clear and needs to be healthy for you to deal with your passions in the new year. So for a lot of y'all Capricorn Rising with the sun transit in the fourth house, you may be feeling like you're getting from point A to B with the things you're working on or the things that you're striving to do right now, or whatever your goals may be. Capricorn Rising, you got some type of personal goals. But with the sun transit in the fourth house, you're gonna be influenced to understand that if you're not healthy emotionally, all right, if you're, if your internal energies, if you're not working on a regimen in order to make sure that your emotional well-being is in a healthy, positive space, you're gonna be placed in some type of lessons and be shown signs and influence to understand that forget all them other goals. Like, you got to get that right. We got to get that right. You got to understand what works for you emotionally, what puts you in a more comfortable space emotionally, what distracts and plays out as a detriment for you emotionally. All right. And some of these things are gonna bring, this influence is gonna bring some awareness about things inside the family and home environment and people that you're connected to, people that affect your emotional well-being, or people, places, and things that affect your emotional well-being. All right. But this is also going to be a time where you're going to be influenced to express how you feel, though, especially if you're an introverted type of individual. You're going to be influenced to express how you feel right now. Okay. Fire in the water houses. Fire in the water houses can be real intuitive. But here, the way you express the subconscious can be played out in extremes. And the sun transit in the fourth house, this can happen. So that could be part of the way how you're going to be influenced to understand how to express your emotions some more. Or you're going to be placed in a situation where you understand how you feel needs to be seen and heard. I said Aries season going to deal with some courage and passion and willpower. So when it comes to some emotion or things inside the home and family environment, or people that you truly connected to in some type of shape or form, you're going to truly feel like you got to bring these things to the light. All right. There's going to be a vision that needs to be seen amongst others that's in your home environment. There may be new creative things you want to do in the home environment right now for the New Year, spring equinox. Sun transit in the fourth house. Y'all probably already started cleansing, cleaning, spring cleaning, and all that. The first ones. Y'all probably the first ones. Y'all and Virgo Risings, Virgo Sun and Moon Risings. All right. So that's what we're dealing with in the fourth house. Can feel extra protective and even combative over your emotional well-being. So this is going to be a time we want to deal with patience with how we feel. It's going to be a very strong energy. So it's going to be like, when it comes to things that you care a lot about, you're going to feel all the willpower to conquer and attack these things. You want to make sure, if it's, when it comes to certain goals or passions, you're doing it in a wise, pace type of way. Because remember, the ruler's still in Gemini. We could be real quick pace with things right now. And when you got so much intention and passion within that fourth house energy, a lot of the times you feel like you need to outlet or express something or act on something to get some energy off, to get some emotion off, or feeling off with the sun transit in the fourth house. So this is what I want y'all to understand. You may feel a little extra protective of the emotions. So be careful if you having misunderstandings of seeing that people are attacking you emotionally in some type of shape or form. Try to be understanding of what intention people are coming from. All right, and you could be combative over how you feel about things. So be careful not jumping into any aggressive energy, based off of how you feel about something with the sun transit in the fourth house. This is a time for you to pay attention to how to understand, because the fourth house dealing with understanding, but with Aries here, that's not always so easy to do when it comes to understanding your own emotions and understanding how to connect them, especially with the home and family environment. All right, guys. So, and this is also going to be a time, I don't know if I said this, but this is going to be a time where you guys are going to feel like, not only, I did say this, but not only that, you're going to feel like you can't express how you truly feel when it comes to, your passions, things that you're creatively into. These things been behind the scenes. If they've been in your private space, you're going to feel like you could put them in the light right now. All right, that's for all of my sun transits in the water houses. You're going to feel like you can put these feelings, thoughts, or your creativity in the light right now. With the sun transit in the fourth house, Capricorn Risings. Okay. Fifth house. All right. Fifth house, Sagittarius Risings. All right. I call this stepping into your spotlight. Stepping into your spotlight. When we look at the fifth house, the fifth house is a fire house that influences. All fire houses influences are our expression, our creative expression. All fire houses, influence our awareness and how we see things. All right, we all see things a different way. So to understand how we all see things, we're looking at our sun sign, and we're looking at our fire houses. Depending on what influences are in your fire houses, aka the sign in your fire houses, or the signs if you got interceptor houses. All right, the planets in your fire houses and the house lord of your fire houses. These influences are going to show you how you see things in this lifetime. All right, so we could add that on top of the sun, just like how the moon governs how you feel and how you react and respond to things. All right, but when we look at your water houses, they influence how you deal with the emotional state as well. They influence how you deal with your emotions. So you can have somebody that got all earth and air, but depending on their water, depending on their rising setup and what signs is in their water houses and what asteroids and planets in their water houses, yeah, you're gonna be like, why is this Taurus so goddamn emotional? Why is Capricorn so goddamn emotional? Why this Gemini so, you feel me? It ain't nothing necessarily wrong with being in tune with your emotions. I'm just hypothetically saying, it's so many different things that influence our energies in the chart. This is because I know I'm always saying, earth signs is dealing with practicality, common sense, being grounded, making sense of things, being stable, being in the present. All right, so that could just throw you off at times. Okay, or you could have a fire sign, air sign come off super logical. So many placements that play a part. I know a double Leo got Mercury in that Virgo though. Leos with Mercury in that Virgo, you think they shit. They could be national debaters, but that's a whole nother whatever. So, fifth house. All right, the fifth house is going to influence how we deal with our creative expression. It influences, what we put on this, what we want to put on the stage in this lifetime, what we want to be seen for in this lifetime, as far as how we deal with our creative, our artistic expression, what we influence by on a creative level. The fifth house also deals with, all forms of creation, children, entertainment, all right? How we like to jump in more to a lively feel of life, how we like to experience, have fun, okay, socialize. So we're dealing with all them energies in the fifth house. So I call it stepping into your spotlight because there's going to be a new awareness about your creative expression. The sun is home in the fifth house. So when the sun is home here, you're going to feel comfortable during Aries season and feel like you can express your creativity. You're going to feel comfortable on the stage, or you're going to be pushed into scenarios and experiences where you got to learn how to be comfortable to be on the stage, to be seen for your creativity, to be seen for your thoughts of how you express yourself, how you feel about things. All right, that's something you're gonna have to learn how to deal with if you don't really know how to deal with it, or you're more vulnerable with your spotlight or whatnot. And that may manifest like a conversation with your friend, conversation with your parent, with your partner, whatever, influencing you to do something, influencing you to push out a certain passion or something you creatively into or whatnot. All right. Now, you guys are also gonna be feeling like you can own the stage. So, it could be an introverted type of space, or you could be in the energy where, you never thought about expressing something or acting on something, all right, presenting something, broadcasting something, putting something in the light, fifth house energy, dealing with your creativity in the light. But, it's gonna be some willpower. It's gonna be a optimistic vision. This house deals with optimism, positivity. So it's gonna be some type of point of view, some type of vision you're gonna be able to see, to know that you can do something. It's gonna be a belief factor when it comes to your creativity. All right. Extra inspired and optimistic, will be forced to see the bright side. All right, external influences will be motivating factors. So you may manifest, once again, a partner, a friend motivating you, because Mars, Aries deal with motivation. So motivating you to creatively express yourself, motivating you to get to be seen for what is it that what creative gifts you brought into the world. All right. This influence, and the universe is not playing with you, underestimating your self-expression and how you creatively express yourself right now, Sag Risings. But y'all already personally dealing with expression, so this is more of an evolution of you understanding how to be more wiser with how you express yourself, especially in the creative department. So being wise, aka understanding what you already know and familiar and already have experience dealing with creatively, and making sure that's applied somewhere. And 9 out of 10 times it may be dealing with how you're seen for it, how you put it on the stage, all right, how you express it. Okay? And you guys, may overdo self-expression or feel like you have to fight for the stage. So you naturally, all the fire rising signs, remember, is Aries season. So Sag risings, all the fire rising signs, and Sag suns, Sag Aries, Sag Leo suns, Sag Leo moons, all y'all already getting some positive influences for how you're seen for your creativity, how you're seen for expressing yourself, how you're able to gain light, how you're able to inspire, influence others, share, spread awareness in some type of shape or forms. You're all getting manifesting natural opportunities for these things. So none of you fire signs gotta feel like y'all gotta overdo anything for the stage. I always tell y'all, when the sun is in your element, it may not be your sun season, but it's your cousin's sun season, and you in the club and VIP with your cousin. So when it comes to that element, which is fire, dealing with creative expression, how we seen, how we express ourselves, you natural examples of how to deal with these energies. Alright, so fire signs, you ain't got to overdo anything when it comes to the stage, how you're seen, how you express yourself, how you're getting your feelings and thoughts heard and seen, because y'all naturally going to manifest opportunities to be able to do these things, in the right spaces, in the right environments, alright, to make the right, to develop opportunities for, connections that resonate with you. Now, so yeah. Be careful of fighting for the stage. Now, Scorpio Risings. Alright, Scorpio Risings, 6th house. I call this developing the schedule for the new you. Alright, developing the schedule for the new you. When we look at the 6th house is dealing with how we organize, how we schedule things, the workplace, because it deals with how we work on things in a day-to-day routine. So the workplace, and where we may be clocking in at every day falls into that 6th house, and that things that we experience while we're there. Alright, the 6th house deals with our schedule overall and how we go about developing these things in order to bring growth to what we're working on, how we want to stabilize ourselves in this lifetime. So for my Scorpio Risings, when we look at that sun transit in that 6th house, it's going to be a whole new awareness about what to work on, how to work on it, and what resources you have. Okay, you guys are going to be in an energy where y'all feel like all y'all got to do to bring life to a new form of your self-identity, a new form of what you want to be creatively seen for, or what you're creatively dealing with, or for how you want to be overall personally seen. You guys are going to start catching heavy influence to understand it's just going to come down to you being disciplined to some type of routine and schedule in some type of shape or form. A lot of y'all understanding that y'all want to get from point A to B somewhere, or you're going to have strong visions and aspirations and inspirations for things on top of a new boost to the ones you already had. It's going to be a strong influence for you to understand to put more time into schedule and organize, not let what's going on in spring season, everybody popping out, expressing this, that, and the third, to stay in your own bag and continue to work and schedule and work on things, okay? There's going to be, you guys are going to be feeling real motivated and have a high motor to want to work and organize, okay, your passions at this point of the year, all right, in this peak of the year. So this could also be a energy where you guys could overwhelm yourself, even thinking about how many things you're trying to work in. There's already a Mercury influence to Aries season with the ruler being in Gemini. So, the sun transit in the 6th house, you're going to be seeing a whole bunch of ways to work on things. So this is going to come down to your discipline of being sharp about what you giving time to, how you scheduling things, why, what needs, how much time it does. All right, it's gonna be some experiences, maybe some lessons and tests dealing with what you allow to take from your your schedule, because the Aries and Mars energy also deals with taking. So when the sun transit in your 6th house, you're gonna gain more of awareness from what's people, places, and things that's been taken from your schedule, been taken away from the time, and how you want to organize and work on things. So there's gonna be a lot of that too. All right. You know, it may be situations with clashes and friction in the workplace, and a lot of these may be situations to influence you to make a certain transition or transformation with what you're doing career wise, putting more time into something that you're actually more creatively into or whatnot. So if you're having strong clashes with authority around this time, that may be a sign of something pointing and directing to that. All right, your passions and creative attributes want to be placed in a routine and schedule, not just what you're clocking in and doing at work in order to, you know, sustain yourself in reality. Scorpio Risings, all right. You know, feeling motivated and having a high motive to work, organize, and make decisions in the workplace or career. So this is another thing. When it comes to certain things in a career, whether it has been overwhelming you, things have been overwhelming you in career, playing out as a burden, you guys are going to have willpower to be able to make the certain decisions for transformation within career, or to make more big individual decisions about what you want to do in career. Maybe things with career, you know, you had you know, maybe there was some friction between what your partner was influencing you, or your parents, or your family, or people, or your environment was influencing you for career things. Right now you're gonna feel the need to be more individual and deal with the consequences of what happens with your personal decisions with career wise. This is actually an influence for all the earth houses, all the sun transit in the earth houses, all right? 2nd, 6th, and 10th house, especially the 10th house and the 6th house. All right, so this is what you want to understand here, okay? Can't overwhelm yourself. Be mindful of how you're exerting your energy for what you're scheduling and working on, because once again, you have a real high motor here. You're going to feel like you could do a lot. You could work on a lot. You could cover a lot in your schedule. Okay, clashes and friction in the workplace. Little secret co-worker haters. Be careful of that to start the season. People going to see your new glow. See how you dedicated right now. So make sure all them haters in your... Don't let them haters in the workplace get to you, man. Alright, man. Alright, and then we got, you know, new ways to structure your creative aspirations. Alright? And you're going to have a real aggressive intention on doing these things. A real aggressive intention of doing these things, because once again, you're going to have a subconscious understanding that what the things you want to personally express and give life to just need a certain schedule and routine, and in a matter of time, it's going to be alive. I mean, it's alive. It's alive. This shit going to be alive. All right, but we need to make sure we have a, you know, there's a high priority on how we schedule and organize. All right, now 7th house, Libra Risings. All right, Libra Risings, I call this connecting your passions and relationship clarity. All right. Now, when we look at the 7th house is a relationship house, air house, dealing with how we connect with others on a one-on-one level, how we connect with people, places, and things on a one-on-one level, our one-on-one relationship with how we perceive things, how we implement our 1st house energies into the collective, how we relate and connect that and build relationships, experiences, and relationships overall. You know, by the things we attract and connect with personally, and you know, huge emphasis on our, you know, intimate and romantic relationships. So for my Libra rising, sun transit in the 7th house, I call this connecting your passions. Connecting your passions and relationship clarity, because the sun is bringing a new awareness about your relationship and people with self agendas. So I already say this about you Libra risings, with that Libra Aries opposite in that 1st 7th house off rip in this lifetime. You guys are very open personally, and that teaches you can't, that Libra in the 1st house is going to teach you, and having 7 Aries in the 7th house, you manifest experiences and clashes and relationships that teach you can't be so personally open, that your openness is not your personally relatability, and how you personally compromise and value what others got going on. That's not always appreciated, accepted, or reciprocated. So you have to adjust how you deal with your relationships and how you cultivate your personal identity. And when we look at the sun transit in the 7th house, there's going to be a new awareness how you deal with your relationships. There's going to be a new awareness about, you know, what effect your relationships have on your self-identity. And universe is going to be quick on all these influences. So it's going to be quick on helping you to understand and see, how to make adjustments with your relationships. It's going to be seeing new ways on how to connect and relate and express yourself to others, whether it's not giving up as much as you do, not being so accessible as you do to start the new year, making sure your personal priorities are being respected and paid attention to and cultivated to start the year. All right. And then, you're also going to be in a state of, wanting to show some appreciation, okay, towards others that, compliment what you're personally into, want to support what you're personally into, and provide more of a, harmonious exchange when it comes to your relationships. So it's definitely going to be things that you're going to be sizing up about yourself in your relationships, because Aries energy is dealing with ourself, us looking in the mirror, self-identity. But you got a chance in the opposite house, which is your 7th house. All right, well, opposite from your personal house. So with a transit in this house, you're going to be sizing up your personal roles in your relationships. So just be wise. You a Libra Rising, you naturally understand balance. You naturally understand, what effort is in relationships. So, understand the energies people have showed you. All right, Libra Risings, and make those adjustments you need to make with how you connect and relate yourself and carry yourself with relationship, and what standards you have in relationships to start the new year. Because with the sun transiting here to start the new year, it shows that every new year you have an influence of how you need to deal with relationships. Okay, so let's make sure we apply that, Libra Risings. It's gonna be opportunities. It's gonna be opportunities to build new relationships, though. All right, it's gonna be opportunities to build new relationships. It's gonna be new awareness about people with agendas. It's gonna be strong desires to connect or experience new relationships. So Mars energy deal with desires, but when it's touching that 7th house, the 7th house is dealing with balance, relatability, connected. So you got this Aries in here, Libra Rising. At times, you're gonna manifest relationships where people ain't so compromising, relatable. All right, ain't so fair, and you gotta learn how to adjust your fair, balance, and compromising personality. All right, or vice versa. At times, the way that you personally express yourself, you're trying to see how you could logically have the upper hand in relationships, and it comes into power and control issues with your relationships. So Libra Risings really be experiencing that one or the other when it comes to their relationships. So with the sun transiting your 7th house, it's going to bring a new sense of passion and intention to how you deal with your relationships. Be careful you're not leaning on the negative end of things when it comes to your relationships. If you're in one, in the relationships you're dealing with now, period, when it comes to the things you want to personally achieve and personally accomplish, and seeing how your relationships so much could be used for it. Not seeing how your relationships could be used for or whatnot isn't a negative thing. In this world we got to learn how to work with others, use others, interact with others. Like that is what it is. All right, we have to learn to exchange energies and build. But for the most part, you just want to jump into a more manipulative take type energy and not an exchange balance type of energy, because the sun wants you to pay attention to how to find balance with your relationships with the sun chance in the 7th house. But strong urge to intimately connect, strong urge, strong desire to want to connect, and probably experience some intimacy right now. So be wise about how you make the decisions, because once again we have no patience with the energy, with the house that the sun is transiting at the moment. All right, now passionate connections. All right, so things in the bedroom, things in your relationships could be a little bit more spicy right now. All right, your partner may want to do it a couple more times this week right now with the sun transiting in the 7th house and whatnot. Things may get a little spicy right now. All right, so just expect that urge, but also a new vibrant period when it comes to dating or whatnot. If you're single and all that, new relationship awareness and new clarity about things that you experience in your relationships to help you understand how to conduct yourself in relationships. All right. Okay. Now, And yeah, lastly, understanding, who's on your personal type of time. This is a relationship house, but when we talk about Aries season, this energy is to help us understand, as far as for you Libra Risings, to help you guys understand how to adjust your relationships to help, align, how you navigate things in your personal life as well, because that's the opposite house and opposites attract. All right. 8th house, Virgo Risings. Okay. I call this developing an outlet for your deep motives and passions. All right, this type of energy we in to start the year, Virgo Risings. So when you look at the 8th house, the 8th house is dealing with the behind the scenes realm, the dark realm. All right, your emotions, your secrets, your inner thoughts, the things that you keep behind the scenes. All right, is a fixed water house, so it's how we deal with our deep darker emotions, the things that we may keep buried or whatnot. This house also deal with our deep passions, motives, ulterior motives, shared values, transformation, sex, the occult, astrology, mysticism. So when we talking about the 8th house, the sun here is going to bring an awareness. Excuse me, guys. The sun is going to bring an awareness to how you dealing with your deep passions and motives. All right, the sun is gonna put some things that was in the dark in the light, especially how you feel about things. So maybe some things that you've kept buried, certain feelings and situations and experiences that you may have not wanted to give no light to, and then you may be forced to pay attention to one of these things, to some type of situation, deep dark situation, some type of shape or form, to grow, evolve from these things, to help you learn how to deal with a certain passion or what a certain desire you have, because the 8th house deals with desires. All right, so I call this developing an outlet for your deep motives and passions, because since the 8th house is everything we keep behind the scenes, with the sun coming here, the sun is going to influence, for you to see and for you to take action. So it's going to be a whole bunch of new awarenesses you're going to be developing of how you can take action and express certain emotions behind the scenes, how you could deal with certain things you just been keeping behind the scenes, certain emotions, certain passions and goals or whatnot that you just been, adding energy onto. All right. The 8th house, paying more attention to how you want to execute your passions and express your feelings. Okay, so the sun transit in the 8th house is bringing clarity to how you deal with the emotions and how you could try to make more light of your emotions. Okay, the sun is gonna bring awareness, bring light towards the energy. The 8th house is already dark and deep, so in some type of shape or form, with the sun coming here, there's gonna be some heavy energy that you can make light of. There's gonna be some heavy in some type of shape or form. That just means it's gonna be something that may be heavy within you, and heavy could be in a good and bad way. A heavy passion that you ready to release, express, a heavy trauma, heavy negative emotion in some type of shape or form. Gonna be different experiences, probably relationship opportunities, probably certain influences to help you learn how to make light of these things, cultivate these things, transform these things. All right. You guys may feel overwhelmed by secrets or past dark thoughts and experiences. So that's why that's going to be part of the influences to help you to start seeing these things from a more optimistic, positive point of view, and helping you understand that you got to go through certain dark experiences for you to deal with giving new life, new breath to something. Sun transit in this 8th house is going to be probably certain things that you're going to be influenced to look at more something dark, something in your past that's been heavy on you, overwhelming on you, maybe as a burden on you. You're going to be forced to look at from more evolved state to help you deal with the new year, to help you persevere, to help you understand you needed that experience and form of transformation to bring something into new life, to bring a new perspective into how you want to look at your goals and passions. Okay, you guys are going to attract opportunities for shared resources. So with the sun transiting the 8th house, you're going to understand how you could probably utilize the resources of others, work with others, use others in some type of shape or form in order to connect to a certain passion, goal, or motive. Be wise how you dive into that bag, and vice versa. People may be attracted to how they can use you in some type of shape or form. If you are able to spiritually pick up on that, see where the exchange could be at, because it's really just an opportunity, okay? And opportunity for a balanced exchange, hopefully, okay? And strong desires, use your wisdom. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. All right, ninth house, Leo. Now my Leo Risings, wanting to experience new passions. All right, wanting to experience new passions and new goals. Now when we look at the ninth house is the house of education, the house of higher learning, okay? The house of experiences, how we learn that from our experiences and extract wisdom from our experiences. Rules long distance travel, foreign land, foreign culture, religion, spirituality, the house of enlightenment. So when we look at the sun transiting here, is bringing a new awareness about the wisdom gained from your passions and personal pursuits. So you guys, Leo Risings, y'all about to be in a state when it comes to the things that y'all passionate about. Y'all about to be sizing up everything that y'all already been learning about, what y'all been getting hands-on with y'all passions, or things related to y'all passions, and understanding how to apply it, or how to shed that awareness, spread that awareness, you know, to others that's dealing with what you into. That you're passionate about. All right, with Aries in the ninth house, you already could have a real passionate influence to dive into things that you want to experience and you want to do and act upon. Fire has a lot to do with our actions and how we once again how we express ourselves. So fire risings are naturally gonna be in states where when they're influenced to, you know, have a thought or feeling heard or seen, a lot of the times if they ain't got a lot of air or earth, you know, you gonna hear it or see it right away. Now, so wanting to experience new passions, the sun in the ninth house is going to bring all type of outlooks and opportunities for you to see how you could implement new experiences in your life, or how you can apply or transform certain wisdom into your life to connect to something that you want to experience right now, Leo Risings. It may be like right now with this type of energy, like let's say you into stocks. You've been doing stocks for like 3 years. So, you know, you wouldn't consider yourself a stock wizard or a stock guru, but you know what you're doing. You done profited some money. You could teach others. So right now, sun transit night, and you passionate about stocks and building with that and evolving. Right now with the sun transit ninth house, you're gonna be in a state of understanding that you can teach that, you can shed some awareness about it in some type of shape or form, that you kind of learned something in the past 2 years about how you can start doing things with your stocks differently. So y'all, Leo Risings, y'all in a space right now to understand how your wisdom about how you deal with your passions can bring some transformation, or how things that you learn can help open up opportunities for you to experience new things right now. Okay, maybe there's some information somebody gave you, something influence that you caught or seen in a movie, commercial, something that gives you the feeling or thought to support a new experience that you may want to embark on. It may have a lot to do with traveling right now, maybe some travel opportunities right now with the sun traveling, transiting the ninth house. So, you know, have ears and eyes open for, you know, maybe certain people that's around you, talking about opportunities to travel, experience new things. You guys could be in a real spontaneous energy right now, so, you know, just be wise about what you choose to jump into. All right, but, you know, new awareness about the wisdom gained for your passions and personal pursuits. You know, you're going to have new clarity about things that you're personally into and how to work with these things. Inspired to learn new things or develop new ways to spread your wisdom and creative attributes. So you're going to understand there's some wisdom you can spread, and you're going to manifest opportunities to be taught and learn a little bit more about your passions. May just manifest a conversation with somebody you don't know. May just manifest a certain movie or a certain recommendation, or something that just, a film or something that just connects right to you to help you understand, you know, how to spread what you already know. Okay, how to deal with your creative attributes. But you definitely going to be in a state of wanting to get more studious about the things that you're passionately into as well. All right, entertaining new adventures, spontaneous energy, like I said. Okay, understanding why you must develop your own personal morals and ethics. Once again, we know Aries energy deals with personal, you know, assertiveness. So when it comes to the sun transit in the ninth house, you're going to be placing experiences right now or situations or conversations, circumstances, situations, for you to understand that when it comes to, you know, your spiritual outlook in life, your personal morals and ethics and whatnot, it has to be developed from your personal outlook. That's what you know, Leo Risings, you got to learn with that ninth Aries in the ninth house. You know, you got to develop a real individual outlook on how you deal with spirituality and what morals and ethics you have in this lifetime. All right. Now, 10th house, Cancer Risings. All right. I call this social status upgrade and new career intentions. All right. Social status upgrade and new career intentions. Now, when we look at the 10th house is dealing with how you broadcast yourself to the world. Highest point of the chart, the midheaven, how the world naturally sees you, your natural reputation that you develop, all right, how you rise to a status, how you're presented to the world, your career, I think I said that already twice, you know, your forms of stability, all right, how you're able to build upon your reputation, stabilize things in life, create more of a foundation in life based off how you're known in your social status, or how you can make something out of how you're known, all right, and when you look at the sun transit in here, Aries, you already passionate as hell when it comes to things in career. All right, you already got a real individual strong intention with the things you dealing with career and how you want to be known. All right, the 10th house, you know, Mars is exalted here, so Aries in the 10th house is a square here, so you have a lot of power and control issues and individual clashes with things inside within, you know, the career area of life, but you were passionate about what is it that you desire to be as far as presenting yourself to her and your social status and career goes. So with the sun transit in this house, new awareness about how others see you and how you can use your reputation for personal gains. There's going to be a new awareness about the things that you already branded personally. There's going to be a new clarity about how others see you, how others, you may manifest a conversation or something, somebody explaining how, you know, others see you and how you should broadcast this more, brand that more. You're going to subconsciously be understanding what you need to put in the light more, broadcast, or how to brand something or how to network something. 10th house has a lot to do. 11th house, you know, rules social media and technology. 10th house has a lot to do with that broadcast, social media like energy. So I like to say the 10th house, you know, has a lot to do with like entrepreneurship and whatnot. So it's going to be a whole new charged up inspirational type of energy when it comes to career and how you want to be seen. May you want to jump into a whole form of transformation in this area right now at this time. So you got to be wise about how you just be aggressive and dive into certain things. Make sure you have a plan with your form of transformation. This is the 10th house. So it needs to be some form of organization. It needs to be some form of planning, blueprinting before you just jump into something aggressively, so in such a direct manner with Aries in the 10th house. And this is what you got to learn here, Cancer Risings. All right, you got to learn how to be more concrete and stable and practical about what you're creatively into and how you could stabilize that. Okay, now there's going to be opportunities to stabilize and establish your passions and career. So you're going to be seeing new ways on how you can make something that you're creatively into more stable, or how you could get what you're creatively into, you know, implemented into what you're doing career-wise, or how you can make the two intertwine, or how you could transform into, you know, working on more of your creativity or your true purpose, or something that truly, you know, really makes you feel alive more than what you're doing career-wise when you have the sun transiting your 10th house, because it's going to bring a whole new awareness of how you could be seen in your career life. So if you're not in the area of life that you really want to be there, there's going to be opportunities to see new ways to transition right now. You know, there might be some minor clashes in the workplace. High motor for you to get things done. High motor for you to work on certain things right now. And a lot of you Cancer Risings right now are in a state where you guys have to learn to embrace a new chapter with career and your social status / public image. And maybe certain things you want to work on and broadcast, but you got to learn to get comfortable with how you're going to deal with public image, how you're going to deal with connecting the external world, personally expressing that, adjusting your emotions, connecting to others, networking with others in the process. So you understanding that and gaining more you're going to gain more awareness of that, but you know, you got to understand that you got to embrace, you know, dealing with whatever public image, whatever form of social status may be developed. You can't control that. You can't. I know you care about it, Cancer Rising, but you can't necessarily control that. You gotta let your works develop that. All right. So that's what we dealing with: social status upgrade and new career intentions for my Cancer Risings. Now, Gemini Risings, 11th house. New associates and intentions among the collective. All right, new associates and intentions among the collective. So when we look at the 11th house, air house, all right, is dealing with, you know, how we connect and relate to the unknown, unfamiliar, people we don't know. All right, how we utilize social media, technology, all forms of communication, you know, associations, organizations that we may be a part of. All right, the outside world, you know, the public environment. So when we look at the 11th house, this is going to be, you know, we're going to be developing a new awareness about your associations and the people you know, the organizations you may be a part of, you know, and your relationships overall. Understanding where people fit. Is this person in my personal life now in the first house? Is this person in my third house now, somebody I'm familiar with? Is this person in my fourth house? You're in a state right now of understanding how to organize and structure your relationships and what use people have, what substance and resource people may have, dealing with the new ways you want to personally move and navigate amongst the collective right now. With Sun transit 11th house for you Gemini Risings, right now y'all passionate about interacting with the collective and getting what you're creatively into or what you're personally working on out into the collective, getting it into new faces, connecting it on social media, branding it, networking it in some type of shape or form. Right now, y'all about to be the light bulbs in the sense of creativity, all right, and in the sense of new insight to a lot of the groups that y'all are a part of right now, and y'all may be developing, manifesting opportunities for relationships or whatnot to enlighten you, shed some awareness on things that you're creatively into. So you know this is a great time to be an active listener because everybody's gonna be real expressive right now, and we're gonna be in states of being able to generate a lot of information because once again Mars, the house ruler, is in Gemini, so a lot of people are real communicative about things that they are creatively into. When people are connecting with people that are into what they're creatively into, you know, it's just a lot of information being exchanged aggressively. Could be from more of an ego point of view, trying to express what they know, all right, what the I am knows. But for the most part, being an active listener helps a whole lot, especially for you Gemini Risings with the Sun transiting the 11th house, all right. So you guys are gonna be real passionate about interacting with the collective and developing new connections. You guys may want to be in a state of experiencing new things with relationships. Maybe real curious right now to get up in the, you know, entertain certain things in the unknown and whatnot. Be wise about how you know, connect to unknown, you know, unfamiliar situations. All right. You know, you guys can be real inspired to network right now. All right. Understanding how to relate your passions some more. 11th house dealing with relatability, so it's going to be new opportunities for you to understand how to connect what you're creatively into, how to utilize a certain relationship or association that you may be a part of, how you could, you know, maybe something you creatively into or working on that could start playing a part of what you're associated with or whatnot, or just seeing how the two could work for each other in some type of shape or form. When we look at you know, my Gemini Risings, right? Y'all may attract a lot of y'all may attract like some strangers right now, or y'all may attract, you know, very unfamiliar energies to actually help you, teach you about things that you ain't know exist pertaining to your passions, whether it's something you can learn, right? 11th house is a very mystic, spiritual house, so you may deal with some experiences that's teaching you about things that's going to help you learn how to evolve with your passions or how you deal with your relationships in some type of shape or form, all right? May be impatient dealing with others. May have a strong, passionate intention to want to connect, network, and build with others, but may be impatient at the same time. Be careful of the extremes that you may jump into. It may manifest dealing with aggressive individuals as well. All right? So be mindful of that. All right? Now, last but not least, my Taurus Risings, 12th house. And I call this acting your imagination out / subconscious expression. All right, acting your imagination out / subconscious expression. So when we talk about the 12th house, 12th house is dealing with, excuse me, the 12th house is dealing with our subconscious. All right, we're just dealing with a whole bunch of energies up in that 12th house area. We still got the sun up in there. I mean, not the sun. We still got Mercury swimming in there. All right, y'all. I'm trying to see how much we got left until, Venus 29 degrees. She about to move into Aries. Okay. So, we're dealing with heavy subconscious energies already. We're going to continue to deal with them with Mercury still, our mind still, somewhat in the imagination realm in the 12th house in Pisces right now. But the 12th house dealing with your subconscious, your imagination, all right? The things that you daydream about, karma, evolution, all right? Life after death, your fantasies, your dreams overall. And when the sun is transiting here, this is what you're paying attention to. Your dreams, your imagination, your fantasies that you want to live out. We're just dealing with heavy Pisces energy with this, specifically the sun season, helping us gain more of an awareness and pay attention to these things and influencing us to how we deal with expressing and acting on these things. But with the sun transiting the 12th house, especially with Aries here, you're already influenced with Aries in the 12th house to be pretty assertive with how you deal with, your imagination, your fantasies, the things you want to experience, learn, and get hands-on with in this lifetime. So with the sun transiting here, Taurus Risings, y'all have such huge willpower to attack what is it that's on your subconscious, express how you truly feel to others right now, all right, from a raw place, and getting action oriented and hands-on with the things that you're personally into. All right, the things you want to personally create right now, Taurus Risings. Is maybe a time right now where you guys are gonna have a new awareness on your subconscious and how you connect and express your feelings. Passionate to connect and express your creativity right now. All right, 12th house has deals with a lot of relatability, but may also be in a state where y'all got people hating on y'all a little bit, hating on y'all aspirations, hating on y'all y'all charged up ways of believing on yourself right now. Make sure you know how to filter yourself in certain environments. It's maybe real subconscious. Everything about the 12th house is subconscious, so maybe real subconscious how direct you may be with people right now, how direct you are expressing things, how maybe subconscious, how single-minded, and this is for all of us, but especially sun transit in the 12th house, maybe real subconscious of how you're looking at things from a real personal point of view, or how you're doing things based off how you personally feel about things in a situation that may deal with more compromise. All right, Taurus Risings, you guys already got Venus energy, so you be able to really pick up on when you're getting when you're getting thrown off a little bit from your ways of seeing things more balanced. All right, you guys are gonna be in a situation, with this influence. Y'all in a state of y'all not Taurus Rising, y'all not seeing no limitations to what is it that y'all want to bring into the world this new year. Y'all not seeing no limitations with these things. So y'all need to, do y'all thing, which is personally have some patience with, what you're continuing to work on, stabilize and build. Okay, but with the sun transit in the 12th house, a whole new creative stimulant like energy is gonna be hitting you this Aries season to understand how you can relate and connect these things that you're creatively into the collective. All right, you guys really want to pay attention to your dreams to start the new year. With the sun transit in the 12th house, maybe it's a lot of messages for you to understand how to adjust your emotional well-being with what you're working on right now. Okay, the sun transit in your 12th house is always going to be a period where we're going to have to pay attention to how we react to things, our emotions, how we feel about things, what we're connected to. So it's going to be an awareness for you to, it's going to be influences for you to become aware for how what you're connected to is affecting your dreams and your imagination and your aspirations in some type of shape or form. But a whole lot of willpower, a whole lot of a high motor to want to just jump into your dreams. We know Mars in Aries is direct, so this is why I say it's real subconscious how direct you are at times, Taurus Rising. You may not even realize it, you know, may not even realize it. And you know Taurus, you know the Taurus Rising energy, Taurus in the first house, you're already personally stubborn a little bit, you know. So yeah, that's what we dealing with, Taurus Rising. Y'all want to make sure y'all use that energy, that creative energy, that blend of creativity with passion to be able to make sure it's directed and doesn't just get burnt up with you internally. You know, you're developing the right outlets for you to, you know, work on your creativity, to start bringing that, you know, things that's in your subconscious, in your imagination, giving it life. All right, once again, every season is about giving things life. Okay, y'all. So y'all already know what it is, family. It's your guy Bora, the Lucky Libra. I missed building with y'all's Aries season. It's time to get into it. It's time to create. It's time to be new. It's time to cultivate self-identity. It's time to get into it. Alright? So started a new year. Happy Aries season. Happy spring equinox. Once again, shout out to my Aries. Happy birthday. Happy solar return, family. Y'all already know what it is. Hop onto my website to connect with the Lucky Libra. Tap into my Patreon where I'm jumping into deeper analysis, monthly classes, and more. And until next time, family, peace.